We had some issues with the last stream due to the fact that some of the mods are just not up to speed yet, and we were trying to load them perhaps a little too soon. We were a little ambitious the last stream due to the fact that some of the mods are just not up to speed yet. And sorry about that, forgot to turn off the dashboard. But anyway, so it was loading things into the ground. We weren't able to manipulate them. After some research, I determined it was related to some back-end mods designed to support other mods. Those mods have been removed, and some of our craft unfortunately have been lost due to that. But those craft were not critical. We can simply redesign them with our existing parts, so no worries there. So we'll go ahead and begin tonight's stream. Let's go ahead and get open our campaign here. If we can find it. What you get for alt-tabbing when Kerbal is loading. So we're going to our stock Twitch campaign because we're still waiting for some of those mods to catch up. I'll be just a moment, just working on a few things off scene here to make things run nice and smooth for us. Okay, so we're good to go. Now I think the last thing we had to do was create a satellite. Oh yeah, we were going to try to send a satellite by the moon. Okay, so let's get to moon orbit. The back nines lost their SAS due to the fact that we no longer have them available. Oh, they're from B9. So we will have to create a new one. That's fine. So let's start with the satellite first. Payload before anything else. Now, since this thing is going to MUN for the first time, we want to make sure we can pick up all the science we can while we're there. Add a little bit of fuel to make sure we can maneuver once we get there. A very small, efficient engine. A little bit of extra attitude control. We'll need power. That should do nicely. A little bit of extra power storage. But those are bigger, so they'd be best, or smaller, so they'd be best on top, except for the SAS, which we want. Thanks to that being a little bit picky. There we go. We want the SAS near center of gravity if we can. We can toss all that in a container. that should fit. Just barely. And we'll toss a small power stack in here. That power stack will let us transmit our signs back. We can also stack some of our science in here, alleviating the need for a dedicated science bay. We'll also need some antennas. Preferably the relay type, because the distance. But we only need a couple. Oh, fun. That's about as good as we're going to get. And one static antenna to make sure that we do not lose contact when we're first in low space. Mystery Jews, 2 juniors. We should only need 1 barometric pressure reading. And only 1 thermostat, because we don't intend this to return. Be lucky if it actually goes into orbit of the moon. On the first go, that is. Okay. Guess we'd have to find a way to connect it on the sides. I don't think we even have one on propellant thrusters yet. And we don't, so we don't have to worry about that. Making sure we have everything we need. Again with the bizarre bay positions. This is for quad, like 4-way mounts. Alright, all we need is a nose cone now because we don't have a fairing yet. It'll have to go up on its own. And it's going to be aerodynamically exposed and part of the control system. We'll just leave it like that. Welcome aboard, Arklord. Okay, now I gotta build a lower stage. So that is going to be a total amount of thrust of 8 by 120 or 960. That should do the job. I'll do a 4-way coupling. On some back boosters. That should be okay. Few small guidance fins. I need a little bit more fuel on that last stage. Alright, we'll give this thing a try. See how well it flies. We are using 1.3. We do have a few mods installed after the system reboot. We are still missing a good chunk of what we used in our original campaign, but that's okay. This one's been running just fine. Most importantly, Science X and Science Here and Now is working, telling us where we're missing our technology. Man, it looks like we may have had a glitch on launch, so we will revert flight and then try to relaunch. Because it did not load the launch pad. There we go. Alright, first off, let's do a staging check right quick, make sure everything's going in the proper order. And it does look like we are good. We are go for launch. Beginning booster ignition in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. And a little on the slow side off the pad, probably because of how heavy the next stage is on fuel. We may have to put on a few more boxes to get her moving. Fortunately, this is only a probe, no manned crew on board, so if it blows up, we're just out to lost the equipment. Stage 1 set, mostly clean. I have very solid control due to the 8th thruster with the buds. They appear to be picking up reasonable speed now. They are eating fuel like crazy. Buds aren't the most efficient engines in the world. Great for maneuver though. Funny part is, if this had been a rescue mission, we probably could have got that guy right there. I'm going to throttle back a little bit, just to gain speed as we approach apoapsis. Start stretching the orbit out here some. We have probe separation, ignition of final stage, engaging comms. Off of orbit, now we just need to find the moon. And we found the moon. Apoapsis node is not too far off, so we should be able to catch it. We're just going to time warp a little bit around to where we can do intercept, which is going to be about right here on the dark side of the planet. Alright, now we need to burn till we hit moon. Just gotta hope we have enough juice to do it. Looking good. We've got a long time before we run out of fuel. And we have contact, and periapsis is at 85,000. Now at 4,500. That's a much better one. And theoretically, we get ourselves tossed completely out of the Kerbin system on a second pass, which could allow us to get some additional science after we do our orbital pass. That's something to think about. We are now in Moon Sphere of Influence. And we can begin sending back tons of data. And we are out of fuel. Or power, I should say. We'll wait for power to come back and retransmit. So we've got all the data we can get by radio, so we just gotta wait now for it to close in on Moon. Find another biome to scan. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is on a collision course now. We better fix that. $20,000 meters, we imagine number. There we go. Wow. This is a really, orbit's going to have a lot of passes. Activate persistent rotation for this. Could be rapidly approaching low space. There we are. Just want to keep that one till we get to the other side of the moon. Turn this up and look at all the science we can pretty much get, unless there's temperature and pressure to get, and it doesn't look like it changes, because it only does by bound for temperature and pressure on the surface. So we're good to let this thing just roll. And there's our power back. Hello, beautiful evening flare sunrise. All your God ray glory. Alright, now we have all of our stuff back. We can go ahead and review this data and send it on home. Now we're just going to let this thing fly because it looks like it's going to have a lot of fun. Where's my alarm clock? Oh, we don't have alarm clock now, do we? That kind of sucks. Let's see if we can make this go us a little farther. I want to see if we can get out into the cosmos. There we go. That'll take us into interplanetary space. So we went to the moon, and now we're going beyond the moon. Actually, what we should do is go into an orbit and then leave. Let's see if we can do that. Double our money. There we go, orbit of moon. Epic. Now let's get out of here. Yep, that'll still take us out of system. Let's first off go to intra-Kerbin space and send its temperature and pressure readings, and then we'll get them from around the sun. Okay, those are also, once they're in space, they're no longer by bone. Next sphere of influence change, and we're there. Now we're really close to that huge Class C asteroid. No, not really. We're off the plane. Yeah, let's get this data and send it on. I doubt we'll make this, but we might as well try. Could be fun. Can we make it to Jool? Doubt it. Let's try. Nope, won't make it. Oh well. I know we just got a ton of data. A ton of money too. All these firsts, man. Alright, now we got our kickback. Yay, SAS and advanced flight controls. Ooh, docking ports. Hey T, welcome aboard, man. I found out what caused our problem the other evening and I fixed it. There's a part of Fire Spitter, which is a mod that a bunch of other mod uses. Not quite working right. Speaking of things looking kind of weird, this sky looks kind of weird. The sun is up and it looks like it's night still. Oh well. Not exactly the most serious problem. So what you up to, T? We just went to the moon. I tried to go to Jupiter, but I ran out of gas. I did that on a probe that was like very, very like extremely new. Panther soon. So it wants us to land on the moon. From what I can tell, Fire Spitter can cause your craft to spawn below the floor in the VAB and not be able to be moved. It hasn't been updated for 1.3 yet, so there might be a glitch with it. It only happened when I created new craft while I had, but I did have pieces of B9 installed too, so it could have been Fire Spitter and B9. Do you have 1.3 installed right now, or are you still using 1.22? That was our moon probe that went the distance. Your 1.3 and Fire Spitter hasn't caused any problems for you yet? Yeah, a lot of them did, but some of them are still a little bit behind. Community Tech Tree is the big one that really needs to be done as soon as possible. I really hope they get that one up and running soon. Maybe it wasn't Fire Spitter yet. Maybe it's part of B9. Or maybe Kerbal Aerospace. Fleet scale still doesn't appear to be working quite right either. Oh, excellent. I cannot wait. I sent him a tip. I know he has to be overworked. He's got near future he has to update as well. All that's through Nerdia. That should be a much more stable delivery system. It may actually be overpowered for what we want it to do. Yeah, B9 is fun. Pretty awesome. But it's broke right now. Probably about to put some stilts on this thing. Yeah, B9 has some really great cockpits. That's why I like it so much. Where was that module? That's what I'm looking for. Oh, good lord, that thing is huge. Who thought that was a good idea? Guessing that was intended to be tweak scaled. That's one way to do it. Pondering what to use as feet for this thing. That's the landing gear for it. Too big. Oh, good God. Those look like they'll make really good feet, actually. Once their tolerances. Oh, they can't tolerate any impact. That'd be horrible feet. What to use as feet? Fifteen's not bad for a tolerance for a landing. I prefer higher. Those heat shields are extremely brittle. Would be very tolerant of a landing, but also very heavy. I think all the tanks are soft too. Guess the only real option is to take one of these. Do like so. Then take this. Well, make sure it's lined up good with the outer edge here. Close enough. Move it a little back. And then also a little up, because what we're going to do is we're going to tilt this just ever so slightly upwards. Now, if you're wondering what the objective of that is, if it lands on an unstable surface and it wants to rock, this thing is designed to allow it to do so a little bit and try to get it back in place. I'm just going to spread it here some. Make sure it's well supported. Now the strutting can be a little tricky from this angle. So we're going to try to go around the back side. Okay, that should support it from the rear. This will support it from the top. Prevent side-to-side motion when it's impacting. Top alignment's a little off. We need to move it in just a touch. Just like that. They are heavy, but they'll be extremely useful when you're landing. Unlike the other landing gear, which can only tolerate 12 and don't fully go down below the poodle, these will extend well below the poodle, giving you plenty of clearance, and they'll also rock a little to allow you to settle safely. I think we'll have more than enough delta V to make it to the moon and land, but I just want to make sure of that. So we're going to add one more stage here, just to be on the safe side. Because I do not have the PWR calculator anymore. You just got to go about it on a little bit of guesswork. So when you have to guess, build in redundancy. The strength of that. Poodle is 250. I want a little bit stronger in 250. We'll do 480. Alright, we gotta do a sequence check here. Good. Good, not so good. 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 Okay. It looks like she'll make it now. We want to strap these boosters down a little because we don't want them wobbling. That's the fuel line. But first off, we want to strap them to each other, hold them relative in position to the piece, and then we'll do side to side. I think we're ready to go. Let's give it a shot. I didn't actually give myself extra money to get myself started off, but what I did do is, since we're playing an accelerated campaign due to the fact the mods are all kind of out of whack, I've got the money return on the missions higher, which will allow us to get to space stations and building crazy stuff a little bit faster. I mostly keep the missions around to give me a sense of purpose, something to do, and in order to do them in. That way I'm not having to, you know, try to guess what I want to do next. Just pick something and go with it. Like we're clean from the launch pad. And it's like the back boosters are doing their job pretty good. Good thrust out of them. Haven't even had to engage our liquid yet. And gorgeous eating sun flare up there. Skipper coming up shortly. Separating boosters, plane set, firing up to Skipper. Going to be kind of iffy getting this much of a fuel load into orbit on these smaller engines. It's like we're starting to accelerate though as we get further and further away from gravity. And we are starting to get acceleration instead of deceleration. Always a good thing. Remember, the goal of this stage is simply get it up into orbit. If we can get up that far, I'll be happy. Start leaning over to our 90-degree angle of ascent. Or 45-degree angle, I should say. The wobble on the rockets was likely due to the aerodynamics cost from the fins I had equipped them with. That was expected to some degree. Checking our ascent. Looking good. Still good on fuel too. We have made orbital altitude. We'll nose over and start pushing the orbit. Engaging thuds. Picking up speed pretty good. Really starting to take off now that the fuel weight's dropped. Like we'll have to burn a little bit of the last stage's fuel in order to make orbit. And we're now on to our poodle. Now, real question, do we have enough to get to the moon and land with this little bit? Alright, we're in orbit. We now just have to set rendezvous at the moon. We're barely off any, which is good. Our orbital burn will need to be made about right there, right near where the apoapsis is. Oh, I miss having precise maneuver. Alright, we'll finagle it some once we get there. No, it's funny, I added monopropellant thrusters and forgot to add the monopropellant. We'll still be able to land though. This thing go on SAS alone, I think. Estimated burn time is 1 minute and 16. We're almost to 1 minute and 30. Nose is on burn angle. Initiating burn. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engaging. Okay, we didn't have that burn exact, but we're close enough that we'll be able to get it where we need it to be. There we go, direct impact with mud. Alrighty, accelerate around and let's just hope we have enough delta V to make it to the surface without going boom. Which on this much fuel is very questionable. Gonna be a 50-50 proposition. We'll try to get up just a little bit over the surface of Moon so we can better control our landing zone. That should be good. Make sure we don't smack into enemy mountains. Alright. This is the fun part. Found us a nice flat spot. This region looks like it's pretty smooth. We'll see if we can stop there. I think we're going to make it. Yes, it is much less fuel to do a direct impact, because then all you have to do is worry about stopping before you hit the ground, rather than changing orbit and all that other crap. This may be my easiest orbit ever, or my easiest landing ever, actually. Now remember, these landing gear are rated for up to, I think it's 80 meters per second. But you don't want to stress test that because the parts they're connected to are not. So your best bet is around 20. But I'm actually going to be even safer and try to do a nice delicate landing that would even survive the smallest landing gear at around a 12. No thrusters required. That's nav HUD. It's literally called nav HUD. It's a HUD that lets you see your navigation. And the landing gear worked perfectly, just as designed. Didn't even have to really worry about a rough surface. We got exactly where we wanted. A nice, very flat piece of land. Alright, let's collect all this beautiful science. Matter of fact, I got enough fuel, I could probably hop to another biome and grab it too. I do know one thing, I severely overestimated the amount of fuel I need. I thought it would be much more difficult to find a nice flat spot, but if you go into low orbit, you can just fly over for a little while until you find one. Just gotta be careful about how low your orbit is and be aware of any mountains. Didn't have enough to send that last, so we'll have to wait for it to power up some. Thing's so stable I don't even have to keep the SAS on to keep it upright. We got just exactly the right slope spot. We got all those firsts. Resend that data. Alright, so this is the Midlands. Now, it looks like to the east of us we have a, or the west of us we have a crater. But it's kind of in darkness still. You want let it rotate around some here. Into the light some more. And we're going to grab that crater. This will be bonus science because the only objective of this mission was simply to get to the moon, land, grab some science from a biome. Didn't matter which biome. A good safe navigation height for Moon I find to be about 17,000 meters. Anything below that and you're seriously risking smacking your face into something. Unless you're around this, like a deep crater like this one, then you can get much lower. That I think may actually go below sea level, like below 0 meters altitude at some points. The other great thing about NavHUD is this second number right here. Above it, whenever you're in flight, there's another number above it where it says surface 0 meters per second. It says altitude. And that altitude is relative to the surface, not, to the core of the planet like this altitude number is. It's showing 4,129 meters right now, and we're just sitting on the surface of the moon. But that's not your true altitude to surface. Right now, your true altitude to surface is 0. Now, when I take off, you'll see that other number, the altitude, the 5th altitude number, go up just above surface here. When that shows up, that tells me exactly how far away I am from hitting the ground. And that's the critical number. That's the number everyone needs to know. Remember, this particular craft is not meant to be recovered. This is an expendable. So whether or not we have enough fuel to make it to this crater and land safely or not is totally irrelevant. This mission was successful. So let's go back west and see if we can grab some bonus. See, which way is west? West is nose down. Well, I thought it showed me my altitude. Guess not. It shows me my speed. Now this isn't the big crater, this is just one of the little ones. We don't actually want to land here unless it's a biome of its own, and I don't believe it is. No, it's still highlands. We'll leave this up. It'll tell us when we actually hit a different biome. By the way, strongly recommend that mod, Science Here and Now. Helps you make sure you're not missing anything. Also, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but it's best to do full burns instead of doing partial burns because thrust to weight ratio, basically. If you do a partial burn, you're not getting your maximum thrust out of it, so your efficiency drops. Now, I think we're about to pass over into the highlands, or into one of the craters. I think it's this one's the east crater, but I'm not sure. Midlands. East crater. I was right. Okay, so there's a nice flat landing spot over here. So what we're going to do is just gently thrust up, keep our orbit nice and level till we're over, and then we're going to counter burn and try to set her down with what fuel we have left. And I think we have plenty, so we should be okay. We're almost on a near direct westward course, so counter to it, it's going to be burning direct east. So we're going to kill our forward momentum, do a backflip. And I think we can let the gravity do the rest on this one. We shall see. I don't see any lines to indicate to show altitude, so we're kind of on our own there. But it looks like we're close, so I'm going to start really decelerating here. And this looks nice and flat too, just like the other landing zone, which is good. Only time it's good to use partial burns is when you're doing fine speed adjustments, such as when you're doing landings. Ooh, don't flip too hard. Come on, little guy. Okay, again, this is the second landing. So despite the fact it fell over, we're abandoning this vehicle, so this is perfectly fine. We are still in condition to collect our signs, which is what matters. I bounced it. Ooh, oh, that was one of the antennas. If I'd known it'd do that, I'd used it to flip us up. All right, we're going to recharge the batteries right quick. Let that run. And we'll grab our mystery goo. Fortunately, we have two antennas, a redundant pair, just in case one got broken off. Now see if we have any vague hope of even getting this thing close to backed up right, and it doesn't look like it. Unless... no, not going to happen without monopropellant. Okay, so now we need to destroy this thing. We're done with it. So, party time. Whee! Hey look, Ma, I got wings. They're very short and stubby. Probe core is still alive somehow. And it bounced. This thing is ridiculously powerful. It's skipping along the... Okay, there we go. There's another piece of it gone. I think the next impact will do it. Just for experimental sake. No, rolling did not save it. Alright, do we leave any debris pieces behind? I don't think we did. Nope, firmly pulverized and recycled into the moon's surface. Scattered debris field across the entire eastern crater. Is it called I'm in target? What was I targeting? What was that in reference to? When I was landing? Sorry about that. I must have missed that. Thought I was focusing on my landing. E-Blades, Nia Blush. Thank you both for showing up and joining the stream. Hope you've enjoyed the content so far. We just did a moon run, captured a bunch of science, and we're going to unlock a whole bunch of stuff. The first thing I want is the Panther Afterburning Turbofan. Don't have enough tech, though, to go up to the Whiplash. That's quite a bit of ways off still. However, I do want the protective shell. I'd say that was a pretty good first run for our first probe lander. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I said at the beginning of the stream, this was unfortunately going to be a short stream night. I have to go house hunting in the morning. Got an appointment in roughly 6 hours to go see a couple of homes and see if any of them may be the new landing zone for Dragons in Space in Lexington. So it's been a pleasure. I hope you all have enjoyed what you've seen of the stream so far. And if you like what you've seen so far, please like and follow. I could always use more company at the late night hours. My normal streaming times are between I start usually between 12 and 2 a.m. It varies by night, and then concludes usually around 5 or 6 in the morning on most nights. So, if you like what you've seen, please follow, and I look forward to seeing you back in the future. Have a great night. Oh, before I go, if you mean was it because it wasn't my target? That might be. So, yeah, I'll try that next time. See if targeting will actually give us an altitude reading or not. I'll also fiddle around with the settings because I'm fairly sure there's a way to be able to show you what your altitude is above the surface. But yeah, I'll work on that and hopefully I'll have that for you next stream. Have a good one. And again, the mod name for the navigation instruments you were seeing was called NavHUD if you want to pick it up on CCAN or off of one of the other exchanges or the forums. So NavHUD, N-A-V-H-U-D. Have a good one. Bye.